If you care about living longer, staying lean, and keeping your brain online, you need a dashboard, not vibes. Tonight we're giving you the 10 labs that actually predict Healthspan, what each one means, and exactly how to nudge them in the right direction so you're not guessing, you're steering. This is educational, not medical advice, and your context matters. Use this to have a smarter plan with your clinician. Before we jump in, a quick operating manual. Do most of these labs fasted, in the morning, and skip brutal workouts the night before, especially if you're checking inflammation or urine albumin. If one number is off, confirm it with a repeat test. The goal isn't perfect, it's better trend lines over time. ApoB is first because it's the clearest lens on artery risk. LDL-C tells you how much cholesterol is inside the particles. ApoB tells you how many atherogenic particles are actually circulating, because each one carries a single ApoB tag. More particles mean more chances to slip into artery walls, build plaque, and raise your heart and stroke risk over decades. If you're high, think 2 levers: metabolism and medication. Trim visceral fat, lift 2 to 4 days a week, walk daily, and make soluble fiber and Mediterranean-ish eating boringly consistent: olive oil, beans, vegetables, nuts, and fish. If numbers are still stubborn, talk with your clinician about statins, ezetimibe, bempedoic acid, or PCSK9 class therapies, then retest in 8 to 12 weeks. Lipoprotein A, or LPA, is the genetic, sticky LDL. It's mostly inherited and doesn't move much with lifestyle, which is precisely why it's useful. You can look fine on a regular panel and still carry risk. If your LPA is elevated, your job is to lower everything else: ApoB, blood pressure, blood sugar, and tobacco exposure, while keeping inflammation and weight under control. There's emerging pharmacology here, but outcome data is still pending. PCSK9 inhibitors can budge LPA modestly. Dedicated LPA lowering drugs are in late trials. For most people, this is a once-in-a-lifetime lab that tells you how aggressive you should be across the rest of your dashboard. Triglycerides are your carb and alcohol overflow signal. When TGs run high, your liver has been packaging excess energy, especially liquid sugar and refined starch, into fat and shipping it into circulation. So the fix is delightfully unsexy. Cut liquid sugars and unnecessary alcohol first, swap ultra-processed carbs for whole food carbs, bump protein at meals, and walk 10 minutes after you eat. Add fatty fish a couple times a week and watch what happens in 8 to 12 weeks. If triglycerides are very high, loop your clinician in. Prescription omega-3s and other agents may be appropriate to protect your pancreas while you work the plan. Remember, when TGs fall, HDL often rises and waistlines quietly shrink. Hemoglobin A1C is your 90-day glucose memory. It reflects ongoing sugar exposure to your blood vessels, nerves, kidneys, and brain, which is why better A1C aging equals better you. If you're drifting toward the pre-diabetes line, think muscle, meals, and sleep. Build and keep muscle so you have a big sponge for glucose. Center meals on protein and high-fiber plants, take a short walk after eating, and put your sleep on rails: same bedtime, morning light, and a quiet wind down. Depending on your situation, your clinician may discuss medications, but lifestyle timing and consistency remain the foundation. Fasting insulin and HOMA-IR are the early warning lights. Glucose can look fine, while insulin is already high and your tissues are less responsive, a kind of metabolic whisper before the shout. Use waste reduction, daily steps, strength work, and better carbs, time better, to bring the signal down. You don't have to go no carbs forever. You do want to trade refined starches for intact grains, legumes, fruit, and veg, and pair carbs with protein and fiber. Magnesium, if you're low, and viscous fibers can help some people at the margins. Recheck in 8 to 12 weeks and look for a gentler insulin curve. hs-CRP is your silent inflammation score. For cardiovascular risk, it's often interpreted as low under 1, intermediate 1 to 3, and high above 3 mg L. Though anything over 10 usually means you're acutely inflamed. Recheck later. The biggest drivers here are visceral fat, smoking, poor sleep, and gum disease, not a lack of turmeric in your pantry. So train consistently, eat minimally processed food, floss like an adult, and keep alcohol modest. Omega-3s and curcumin may help at the margins, but they're additions to, not replacements for, habits. Repeat hs-CRP twice to confirm the trend. Don't obsess over a single blip. Your kidneys are longevity organs, and eGFR is your fuel gauge. Lower filtration rates correlate with higher cardiovascular risk and faster system aging, even before you feel anything. Protect them with blood pressure control, glucose control, sensible hydration, and caution with frequent NSAID use. If you're otherwise healthy, creatine typically plays fine with normal kidneys, but if your labs are off, don't DIY, talk to your clinician. Retest at least annually, more often if you're outside the reference range. Every step that lowers ApoB and blood pressure buys your kidneys time. Urine albumin to creatinine ratio, uACR, is the early damage alarm. You can have a normal eGFR and still leak small amounts of albumin, an early endothelium under stress signal. If uACR is elevated, repeat it, because hard workouts, fever, and dehydration can falsely spike it. The fix is classic risk control, blood pressure and glucose management, and getting ApoB down. This is also where ACE inhibitors or ARBs often show up in clinician-guided care. Protect the pipes now and you protect your brain, heart, and kidneys later. ALT is your liver's smoke alarm. It can rise when liver fat and inflammation creep up, even if you feel perfectly fine, and normal lab ranges can be misleadingly wide. You don't need a cleanse, your liver needs less incoming junk and more movement. Go after liver fat with calorie control, fewer refined carbs and alcohol, higher protein, resistance training, and steady zone 2 cardio. Coffee, if you tolerate it, is one of the rare habits that seems to nudge liver risk the right way in observational data. Retest in 8 to 12 weeks and watch ALT drift back toward a quieter baseline. Vitamin D is useful, but it's not a superhero cape. The win is getting out of deficiency, not chasing internet optimals that keep climbing. Use smart sunlight, fatty fish, and targeted supplementation to correct a low level, ideally with a clinician's guidance if doses are high or you have conditions that change needs. Recheck after 8 to 12 weeks and keep it simple. More is not always better, and vitamin D won't outrun sleep, food quality, or muscle. As with everything here, we're managing risk, not auditioning for perfection. Here's how to use this video without getting overwhelmed. Ask your clinician for an annual longevity panel that includes ApoB, A1C, fasting insulin, triglycerides, hs-CRP, kidney labs, eGFR and uACR, liver enzymes like ALT, and vitamin D when appropriate, plus a one-time LPA. Pick one number to fix first, push hard for the next 8 to 12 weeks, and retest to see your trend. If you want a printable checklist of the labs, ranges, and fix the number habits, check the description. And if you want the full, week-by-week blueprint for training, sleep, and nutrition, our book is linked below. No calorie math required. Tap like if you want more, do this next episodes, and subscribe so you don't miss the follow-up where we turn your lab trends into a 6-month action calendar. The goal isn't just living longer. It's living longer in a body that still does cool stuff. Choose one lever tonight, and let's move your line. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.